You read this title correctly. And I wanted to make this video, and I've been thinking about this video ever since we beat the Dallas Cowboys. And there's a lot that I want to talk about. What is up, Finn fans? Very serious video today. You read the title. The time is now. We have to take this seriously. And I have a lot of things I want to talk about. I made bullet points so I don't miss out on any. I got some stats here so I don't miss out on any. But real quick, I do have to shout out a guy because we're talking about seriousness, and that is clean the world. I talk about Sean a ton. He does fantastic things, and it's for people that need it. Third world countries, natural disasters, the homeless. He has shower stations for these people. He does fantastic work for people of need. He puts kits together. You guys can put kits together to give it to people of need. He has great merch and all that stuff. Go check him out, cleantheworld.org. See what he's all about. See what he does. And Sean, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. So, without further ado, this video is serious time. The Miami Dolphins beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Miami Dolphins are sitting at 11-4 right now. And you would think, hey, the stigma was we couldn't beat a team over 500. The stigma was everyone thought, here comes December, the Dolphins always lose in December. Yet here we sit beating the Dallas Cowboys, and here we sit 3-1 with one last game in December. And you listen to the pundits in the NFL and the analysts and the Colin Cowturds, and you listen to all these guys who still crap on this Dolphin team, who still crap on Tua Tagovailoa, even though he has come out and proven narratives wrong left and right. People still do it. Hell, some in our fan base are still doing it. Some in our fan base still want him gone, make fun of him, like just take any chance they can get at knocking the kid down, even though he's been playing great. So, the time is now. The time is now. We're not going to get any respect. You know when we get respect? When we host that Lombardi. Now, am I going to be talking about winning a Super Bowl? A little bit. Am I going to be predicting winning a Super Bowl? No. You guys know how I work. But there's a lot that I want to talk about as I sat back and, enjoyed the win. Huge, hard-fought win. A lot of people are like, he only won by 2 points against a very good Dallas Cowboy team. Very good Dallas Cowboy team. And you got the same people who said you only won by 3 points are Buffalo Bill fans. We stomped them out at home in the rain, and you only beat them by 3 points. Okay, we beat the Denver Broncos by 50, and you lost to them. Do me a favor, take this play to shut up, and go sit over there and eat it. This team just feels different. I talked about this, I think, the Jets game. I even talked about it with the Titans game. They need to be different. They need to prove to us football fans, us Dolphin fans, that this isn't the 8-3 last year, and this isn't the same old Dolphins that are going to fall on their face. Now, those same old Dolphins could rear their ugly head, and that's why I'm making this video. We got 2 games left. We got a Baltimore Ravens team that the Dolphins compete against. The Dolphins can. Stack up, look on paper, they can. They're dealing with injuries just as much as the Dolphins are. They lost their star running back. They're dealing with safety injuries. They're dealing with O-line injuries, just like the Miami Dolphins are. So no one's going to be sitting here playing the violin for either one of our teams. You go out there, you win the game. But this team, you look at this team, right? 1,725 yards per game margin difference, which is ridiculous. From us and our opponents on the season, 1,725 yards. Dyslexia. We're the only team in the NFL right now that has a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. We have the number 1 offense, 400 total offense, 411.5 yards per game. We have the number 4 defense, only holding our opponent to 296.5 yards per game. Those numbers equate to big things. When you have a number 1 defense, top 5 offense, a top 5 defense, those numbers equate to something. We have broken the single season sack record for the franchise with 52 sacks. We have a 4,000 yard passer. We have a 1,000 yard rusher. And we have 2 over 1,000 yard receivers. That is the first time in franchise history. The offensive line, which has been an amalgamation of different players at different time, because we lost our center, then we lost our tackle, then we lost our guard, and then we lost our center again, then we lost our tackle again, and then we lost another guard, and we are 30th in the NFL in pressure percentage with 15.4. We are 32nd in the NFL with quarterback hits, and we are 30th in the NFL giving up 27 sacks. With an offensive line that has just been a revolving door of players. The defense is 2nd in the NFL in sacks with 52, 1st in the NFL in pressure percentage with 28.7. But take that, and on the flip side, they are 29th in the NFL blitzing with 20.4% of the time they blitz. Tua has 8 comebacks, and you would think there'd be more of that, but out of the 32 wins he has on his record, 23 of them, he has won by 7 or more points. Now, why am I telling you all these things? Is because, again, I even tweeted this out. When you sit back and you look at what the Dolphins are fighting for on Sunday, this is new. And I'm going to give you some stats and statistics, but this is new. Now, one of the things isn't new to me, which is we're trying to clinch the AFC East. Now, in 2008, we clinched the AFC East in the last game, which was week 16th game for, us, because we added a game. But what's new to me is 12 wins. I was born in 1987. I became a Dolphin fan in 1995-ish, right? I was around 8 years old is when I became a legit diehard Dolphins fan. The last time the Dolphins had 12 wins was 1990. The last time the Dolphins had the number 1 seed was 1992. This team is different, and they need to continue to prove and show how different they are. And you're not only seeing it from statistics and from margin and from what they're going for, but you're seeing it in the organization, you're seeing it on the field, and you're seeing it in the locker room. Like after the Cowboys game, and this is why I at first I was hesitant about Hard Knocks being on, the Dolphins being on Hard Knocks, because I'm like, oh my God, is it going to be a distraction? Are we going to lose because of the, all this other stuff? But, you saw at halftime, Tua kind of pulling Teron Armstead aside and be like, dude, you got to do what you got to do, man. Like, this is me talking to you man to man. You got to do it. I understand I'm younger than you, but you got to do what you got to do. And at first I was like, what is he really talking about? Like, in what context and I think it had to do with that hit he took in the back, which I thought it was on the right side because he's a lefty, but I think he threw it to his right and he got blasted in the back. I think that's what he was talking about with Parsons. And then you have, the more I watched it, and even Nick Hicks brought this up, when you go back and you watch before the 3rd and 3 play, which was the bubble screen to Tyreek Hill, go watch it again, because Mike McDaniel's talking to Tua and saying, do you want to run the Z spot? I think that's what they called it. He's like, whatever you want to do, man. I trust you. Whatever you want to do. So Tyreek Hill starts walking over, and he says, Tyreek. And Tua tells Mike McDaniel to don't look at him. Don't look at him, he says. And then Mike just kind of walks away. And then in the huddle, he says, Tyreek, it's going to you, man. I need you to be ready. I need you to fight. And he's doing this while Tyreek Hill is standing to his right. And he's talking to Braxton Berrios. I need you to be ready, Tyreek, because this is going to you, and I need you to get this first down. Tyreek is standing here. And he did all of that because if Dallas is watching him and they see that he's pointing and talking to someone else, they don't think it's going to Tyreek. Because if they bring Tyreek over and they're talking to Tyreek and they're like, we got to get this Tyreek, and then they're like, oh, it's going to be a screen to Tyreek. It's going to be a screen to Tyreek. And then the best part of that whole thing is as soon as Tua realized it was man coverage, the motion happened, the corner slipped, quick release. And he said that to him, I'm going to get it quick. So you got to be ready. Again, Tyreek is standing to his right. These are the different things, right, that show the difference in this team, the different atmosphere, the different player recognition. They all have each other's back. They all celebrate each other. Sanders got propped up on their shoulders. It feels and looks different. But here is where we prove it's different. Now, this Baltimore Ravens team is a good team, and I'm going to go in full depth on this tomorrow in my preview. This Baltimore Ravens team is a good team. This is going to be a hard-fought game for the number 1 seed. We win this game tomorrow, and I'm going to do another rah-rah speech in tomorrow's preview, but we win this game tomorrow, we have the East. The AFC East is the Miami Dolphins, and the worst they can do is the number 2 seed. Which means unless we go to the AFC Championship game with Baltimore, runs through Miami. If Baltimore somehow loses in the divisional round, which is the second round, and the Dolphins win, it goes through Miami. Huge implications. And this is where the team can say, okay, you're still calling us frauds after beating the Dallas Cowboys. And you're still calling us frauds after getting to 11 wins. And you're still calling us frauds for having the number 1 offense, the number 4 defense, for having almost a 4,500-yard passer and a 1K rusher and 2 1K receivers. You're still calling us frauds for second in the NFL in sacks, but bottom in blitz. You're still calling us frauds after all these accolades. And then they got to go out and prove it. And that's where Tua comes out and he talks about receipts. And that's where this team talks about that they're not done yet. And this is where Mike McDaniel comes out and says, when people talk about, oh, you're playing for this and you haven't beaten this, to, kindly F off. That's not what he said, but in a nutshell. Time is now. Time is now for Tua to put so many of the doubters to bed. Tua can't win the big games. Tua can't win the games that matter. He just helped beat Dallas. Oh, that doesn't matter. That's Sanders. Sanders kicked 5 field goals. Tua had nothing to do with that. They don't have eyes in their head, apparently. So he has to do it again against Baltimore. Has he ever done it against Baltimore? Of course. 6 touchdowns, 400 and something yards. I think it was 400. It might have been more. But he has to do it again to prove people wrong. And then on top of that, right, that's the whipped cream on the Sunday, is beating Baltimore. Then you get the sprinkles and beating Buffalo and potentially knocking them out of the playoffs. And then that cherry on the top of that Sunday is getting a playoff win for the first time in 22 years. And then you keep going. You keep going and you keep proving people wrong. And you keep winning. And you keep moving. And then hopefully you go to the Super Bowl. Then no one can say anything about you. None of the negative Dolphin fans that constantly want to see us fail so they can say, I told you I was right. I told you Tua is not the guy. I told you Mike McDaniel or Mike McGenius isn't the guy. I told you all these things weren't going to happen. I was right, and I knew my team was going to lose. Why would you want to be that? Sip it. Now there'll be the yeah buts. There'll still be the yeah buts. Yeah, but you got there because, this penalty got you there. Or, yeah, but you got there because so-and-so got hurt and you got an easy win off of them. And, yeah, but you got... And then if you win the Super Bowl, then they got nothing to talk about. Nothing. Because all you can say is, we won the Super Bowl. Bills fans, well, look at the record of us playing you the past however many seasons. You won twice out of 11 games. We have another Super Bowl. Do you have one? Jet fans, see, but here's the thing. Jet fans have been quiet. Patriot fans have been quiet. It's the Bill fans that keep chirping. And we need to shut them down. Time is now. Got to take care of business. Got to play smart football. You got to win these games. This team feels different. Prove to me that they're different. Prove to the world that you're different. Big game on Sunday. Super Bowl-esque, AFC-esque championship game on Sunday. It's on 1 o'clock. And who's calling the play? The guy who called the Miami Miracle. So let's get this W. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's just a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. Comment below. How do you feel about this team? Does it feel different to you? Do you still think they need to prove something? Do you think that this is the time? The time is now. Or are you okay with getting a playoff win and then building off of that? Or do you think this team has a shot? I don't know yet. Let's see what happens Sunday. They win Sunday. How do you not think that? But I'll see you guys tomorrow with the preview. I'll see you Sunday at 1 o'clock. Huge game. Absolutely huge, pivotal game. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. My friends out.